This is Smiles TV. Welcome to Smiles Television Talk Show. I'm your host, Stephanie Anthony Miles, and we have the best show of all time today. And you know why? Because we have the world's greatest female athlete, Joyner Kersee, and then we also have a great boxer who won a gold in the Goodwill Games, Mr. Arthur Flash Johnson, right here from East St. Louis, Illinois. And you remember that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He was crucified and buried, and he rose on the third day. Confess with your mouth that he is Lord. Believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, and thou shalt be saved. Stay tuned for more Smiles. Welcome back to Smiles. I'm sitting here with Joyner Kersee, the world's greatest female athlete of all time. Here's just a little history about Jackie. In 1984, Joyner Kersee won the Olympic silver medal in the 7 event heptathlon. In 1986, she was the first American woman to set a world record in a multi-event competition. She was voted by the Associated Press as Athlete of the Year. In 1988, she won 2 Olympic gold medals. And in 1992, she won an Olympic gold and bronze medal. She officially retired from track and field at the age of 38. Welcome, Joyner Kersee. Jackie, thank you. Come to Smiles.
Yes.
I love you so much, and it's so good to see you again.
Always great seeing you.
You know what, Jackie? We're sitting here in this great facility. You came back home. You've made an impact. You're still making an impact. And we're going to talk about your center. I want people to know some of the great things that are going on. But if you will, Jackie, let's go back. Because I know that you're featured in a magazine that's coming up, and it's called the I Am East St. Louis magazine, and it's published by Charmaine Savage. But you're featured in there along with other sports greats. Tell us about your childhood growing up in East St. Louis.
Yeah, well, growing up in East St. Louis, in the south end of town, my parents or our parents didn't have a whole lot, but we had a whole lot of love in our household, and my parents instilled in us a conviction to working hard, and we were raised, Christians, and and really just to focus on the things that we had and not put a lot of thought into the things we did not have. But it was always about setting goals and, trying to, make ends meet from the standpoint of living in the house of my great-great-grandmother. But my parents, was very loving and caring and always set the rules.
I can remember, Jackie, and of course I have to tell this story, and then you can tell the truth when I finish. But I remember growing up, we all ran summer track.
Yes.
And, I thought you were great then. But then I had a chance to beat you, but you all don't know why. I beat Joyner Kersee, but let me tell you why. She's a little bit younger than I am. So if you're 10 and she's 3, of course I would win, right?
No.
It's not that great of an age difference. But Jackie, when you first started running, what were your thoughts? Were you just out there for fun, or you went out saying, I'm going to be an Olympic champion? What were your thoughts initially?
My thoughts initially was that I loved what I was doing. I really didn't understand what the Olympics were about. I came through the Mayor Brown Center, and the Mayor Brown Center had, different sports activities they were offer all of us, and all of us being my sisters, my next door neighbors, and we at one time made up the cheering squad. We would cheer for the football team, and then they had sign up for track and field. And Percy Harris at the time was one of the directors, along with Tyrone Cavett and so many others. So I would go, and I signed up, and Percy was like our coach, but then it was maybe 10 of us. Then the next day it was only one.
Oh, wow.
And I was the only one left. And Percy introduced me to George Ward, who was over at Franklin School, because they had a track team already. They were running, and I was running with Gwen Brown, and
right.
so. And it wasn't until later on that, maybe when I'm saying later on, it might have been a month later, that met Coach Fenoy, who was also the physical education teacher at Lily Freeman. And so they had combined the track club, and we were running, George Ward and them, as well as Mr. Brooks and Mr. Fenoy and them, and Coach Hampton, all, got this track team. But then for whatever reason, George and them just wanted to focus on the boys. And
Fenoy ended up taking the girls, right?
Yes. And if Coach Fenoy hadn't really gave girls a place to be able to come and go, I don't know what my career would have been with track.
You told a story, and I'm not going to tell all of the story that's in the article, but you told a story of how you would see people standing on the stage, and they were getting medal, and you were on the grass. How did that affect you, and what did that mean?
When I first started running, I finished last in my first competition, and I said to myself that if I could improve 1/10 of a second if I was running, or 1/2 of an inch if I was jumping, that meant the work that I was doing for his practicing was paying off. And it was okay. I saw myself improving. I saw my places improving. But then I recognized how I think 4th through 8th was on the grass, and 1 through 3rd was on the podium. So then I started setting my sights on, I'm going to get on the podium.
Right.
I'm going to get some hardware. We got ribbons. I had all kind of different color ribbons. Nothing against them ribbons, but.
Would you like to increase your customer base, grow your online presence, transform the look of your brand? Let the marketing experts at Logo Graphics Design and Advertising help you hit the mark. Logo Graphics has provided marketing solutions for businesses for over 26 years. Our services include website development, marketing flyers or banners, email marketing, nonprofit outreach, social media management, and more. Contact our office to turn your ideas into solutions today. Call us at 1-800-288-9524 or email us at logographicsdna@gmail.com.
Have you ever been pressed for time? Rushing to get to that very important meeting with the big guys, or trying to beat that grace period at work and finding somewhere to park is nearly impossible? You finally find a parking spot in front of the parking meter, and you realize that you didn't bring any change. You happen to look over and see a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk, and for a half second, we immediately assume that the homeless person wants something from us. We snap back to reality as we check all our pockets for change because we don't want to get a parking ticket. Coincidentally, we look over and see the homeless man handing us the exact change we need for the parking meter. My new album, View from the Inside Out, was created to encourage listeners to not judge a book by its cover, because sometimes it's the person that we least expect that will be the one that gives us exactly what we need when we need it. View from the Inside Out drops March 19 everywhere. And remember, integrity matters the most when you're by yourself.
Pain is something we all have to live with. Aching joints, arthritis, flare-ups from injuries that we long forgot. We each deal with pain in our own way until it becomes debilitating and we need real help. Even worse are the medications with opioids, steroids, and chemical ingredients we can't even pronounce or don't even know where they come from. Do we really want to put these potentially lethal drugs into or on our bodies? Did you know that even taking simple over-the-counter medicines for pain can have dangerous side effects when mixed with certain foods or other prescriptions? It's time to leave the harmful drugs behind and use No More Pain Herbal Blend. This blend of essential oils is 100% drug and chemical free. Massage into any joint or muscle for immediate pain relief. Don't believe it? Try it for yourself. Try it free for 30 days, and if you feel it doesn't work, simply return it. If it works for you, keep it and pay just $29.99. It's simple and painless. Take the 30-day challenge and get back to being you. Call today, 650-278-4646 650-278-4428. That's 650-278-4428, or visit us on the web at beyondbeautiful.club. That's www.beyondbeautiful.club. Join the club and get back to being you.
Hey, I bring to you DOC, Disciples of Christ Ministries. We are dedicated to the advancement of God's kingdom by bringing our people closer to Christ. We are proving ways to effectively commit Scripture to memory. If you want to memorize biblical text but are not sure what to memorize or how, the SOAP study is perfect for you. The SOAP method: Scripture, observation, application, prayer, is the perfect launching point to begin hiding God's Word in your heart. This user-friendly and godly-inspired gift will give you thought starters to encourage you and others on your spiritual journey, bringing you intrinsic, extrinsic, and most importantly, eternal value. For more information, you may contact us today at 314-449-1337. Receive a free Bible with your order today.
The Dynasty Media Portal is a media distribution platform reflecting multiple genres of music, film, and special events via radio, television, and online streaming. Advertisers and content generators are connected to a combined listening audience of over 14 million viewers with any single piece of content. It's unlimited access for your organization or business through digital and social media marketing. Contact us at 1-800-288-9524 or email us at dynastytelevision@gmail.com. Visit www.dynastytelevisionmediaportal.com and experience what it means to be destined for Dynasty.
Royale, Rodney, is about to go in and eat and drink, talk to the customers and talk to the owner and the bartender.
A lot of people don't know that you play basketball and volleyball.
Yes.
And maybe some do because the basketball career really took off at UCLA. So tell us about basketball at Lincoln High School, and then from there, how you played against some of the great people.
Oh, wow.
Other greats.
You know, we were very fortunate. I started playing basketball through the Mary Brown Center. Really didn't know what was AAU. Puncho Hamilton at the time was really, getting girls both from that time from East Side and Lincoln, and we made up the team. But then my senior year, we went undefeated. And at the time you didn't realize what an accomplishment that was until now. Now you can look back, because to go undefeated in anything, it says a lot about your perseverance, working together, and it's a team, and it's a team sport. And we were able to gel at the right time to be state champions in Illinois, and really that was something I cherish more now than I did then, and then going on to UCLA on the basketball scholarship, and I wasn't quite sure if I was going to play basketball because I really wanted to, make the Olympic team in track and field.
Wow.
And but I played all 4 years, and it was great, playing against some of the greats, Cheryl Miller at the time, who was one of the best women basketball player at the time, who really helped push, at what I would call during that era, push women forward, because Lynette Wooder or Nancy Lieberman and Myers and all of them came before us. But when people really start having appreciation for women's sports with Cheryl Miller, the McGee twins, and then at sea having a team, Cheryl Miller, the McGee twins, Cynthia Cooper.
Okay.
I mean, it was like, wow. And we're in our conference in UCLA.
And you were, at the time, how tall are you?
I was, 5'10".
You're 5'10", and these girls were
6'3", 6'4", and I had to check them. Yes,
wow. But
so I was like a little fly.
But some of your some of your records are still there today in basketball, and that's awesome.
Yes.
So so you decided, okay, I'm basketball, I'm great at that too, but you went on the track for sure as a career. How did you make that transition? What made you say, I'm gonna do track?
You know what? It wasn't so much that I wanted to make track a career. Mm-hmm. The transition was that the opportunity of trying to make an Olympic team. So that opportunity became a challenge to see if I could meet that challenge. I went to the Olympic trials as a senior in high school, and I finished 8th in the trials. And even though in '80 we didn't send a team because of the boycott, and I wouldn't have made the team, no way. Okay. But then you're waiting for another 4 years if it's going to come about or is it going to happen. Mm-hmm. And in 1984, my opportunity to try to make my first Olympic team presented itself, and so I wanted to see if I could make that team, and I was fortunate enough to make the team. Mm-hmm. And I realized, though, I was in a great situation to win a gold medal in the multi-events, but never been injured before and dealing with an injury, mm-hmm. that it played on me psychologically. Okay. And all my family and friends and everyone was there, but I was just in another world. I was so nervous and so afraid, and I let the heavy bandaged leg get the best of me mentally. I didn't focus on what I needed to do to win the gold medal. I was so focused on my leg being heavily bandaged that it really caused me to doubt myself. And
I have to ask this question because you mentioned Nino Fornori just a little bit earlier, and for those of you who don't know, Nino Fornori is still coaching track and field today and has produced other great athletes.
Yes.
Did you ever, while running and after running professionally, I guess, did you use what you learned from home? And if so, how did Nino and that coaching staff impact you in the long run?
Right. Coach Fornori was and still is very instrumental in my life. From a father figure as well as a mentor, and someone who always taught all of us to give back, and giving back, giving of our time, come back and teach what we've learned. And I feel the great, I guess the great gift that Coach Fornori gave to me, his words of wisdom, was that he has taught me all he can teach me. Now it's time for you to go and learn from someone else. Okay. And that was profound in a way, because as young people, sometimes you get attached, and when you're leaving high school and trying to go to that next level, it's hard to leave the people behind. But when people understand you're not leaving them behind, you're allowing me to grow and grow, and allow me to be open to learn from someone else. And that's a valuable lesson that sometimes holds a lot of our young people back, because other people won't let them go and fly on their own.
Those are great words of wisdom.
Yes. So Coach Fornori was very instrumental in that. Even when I would call and like, oh, the coaches, you're like, no, you went there for education. I don't want to hear that.
And so today, now you're married. You're married, and you, your brother. We haven't talked about Al a little bit, because she has a brother also who's an Olympian, Al Joyner. Yes. So now you're married, and you had some things to go on in between, and we don't have to stay on this long at all. But Al, who ended up marrying Florence Griffith Joyner,
yes.
Flojo ended up passing, and during that time, how did that impact you?
You know what? Even before the passing of Flojo, you're talking about my husband, Bob Kersee, not only coached me, Coach Florence, Coach Al, Gail Divas, Valerie Briscoe Hooks, Jeanette. I mean, we have just a Rolodex of Olympic champions that he's worked with. But Florence and I, we competed together at UCLA, and my brother, who I convinced prior to the '84 games to move to Los Angeles and come train, under Bobby. And he worked with Bobby, and my brother did win the gold medal in the triple jump, which was, great. And then I never thought him and Florence would, connect. you know.
But that East St. Louis Mac.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Sweetwater. You know what they call him. You know, he had the magic in the water, I guess. Right. Well, anyway, him influenced. Married and had a daughter. Well, have a daughter, and it was just unfortunate because, you know, after Florence gave birth to Mary, and then she was having problems with seizures, and we weren't sure where they were coming from, and then come to find out she had a lesion on her brain, and so after, you know, having a seizure in her sleep and suffocating, that we lost her. But you know, it was tough, you know, and because as a family, you're trying to corral and, you know, be supportive, and I don't, you know, I know what it's like and the feeling I felt when we lost my mom when I was a freshman. But then for my brother to lose his, you know, significant other and have a young daughter at the time was it's really tough. But we dealt through it.
Let's take a little break, and we're going to come back. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Jackie Joyner Kersee Center that is run by her foundation right here in East St. Louis, Illinois. Stay tuned for more Smiles.
Coming to the stage, y'all. I want you to put your hands together right now. Start clapping. Give it up for her. Give it up for her. I want you guys to make her feel real welcome. Put your hands together for Michelle. Hey! Thank you. It's important to have a relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? It's like critical time, so you can't afford to not be in a relationship with God. Amen. I love the church, the shingles. Y'all gotta forgive me because I ran out the house and I forgot to take my ADD medicine. So this could go a whole lot of different ways up here. The cart could get away from the horse, so I'm just letting you know up front. I got first thing on the menu that they need to do for us, for black folks, is we need a rib tip plate. I'm just saying. I think we need a rib tip plate on the menu at Starbucks. That would help us feel validated for what went on. Because it wasn't right. It wasn't right. There's a ticket for my friend. I'm going to just go on in. She was like, where you going? I was like, well, I'm going to try to. I thought we was going to do a game of one-on-one. He's like, where you going? Like, come on back. Nope. I need 21s. 19. Oh, the devil is alive. Oh, no. When y'all see big people out of breath, don't talk to us. Don't talk to us. Every person in here knows what it's like to go up a flight of steps. When you get to the top of the flight of steps, you be like, then you get a call. All right, where my married couples at? Where the married folks at? Make some noise. Now stop. Boo. Boo. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I fail to mention that I got my master's degree at Petty University? Sorry. Let me just insert this. Today's a day. Today's a good day to trust God.
That's right.
Amen. I'm just gonna say that one time. Today is a good day. Y'all say it with me. Y'all go. Thank you. Today is a good day to trust God. Thank you very much.
Wow, I'm a lucky man. She is the light of my life and as fine as a Georgia pine. Good God from Zion. She's truly been a blessing. So what am I afraid of? I mean, she's perfect in every way. I love her. Yeah, I need to do the right thing. I'm going to do the right thing. Yeah, it's time.
My man is fine. He even looks better in the morning. I love him so much. Although he's not perfect, I accept him for who he is, and I'll support him in every area. I'll be there for him till death do us part.
Excuse me? How do you know Chris?
You must be Deanna.
Hi, I'm Roz McCarthy, CEO founder of Minorities for Medical Marijuana. Minorities for Medical Marijuana is a nonprofit advocacy, outreach, and education organization based in Orlando, Florida. Our focus is making sure that minorities have an opportunity in the new legalization of marijuana throughout the country. We're in South Carolina, we're in Missouri, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Texas, Arizona. Our organization was formed to make sure that individuals, people of color, people coming from communities of color have an opportunity to be able to participate in the legalization of cannabis in the United States.
If you're tired of wandering in the wilderness of obesity, God is ready to usher you into the promised land of healthy and fit for life. Eating as an Act of Worship Ministries is a nonprofit organization dedicated to teaching the biblical principles for maintaining a healthy body for the glory of God. Join our free 12-week course for both adults and children online via Periscope or at New Calvary Temple Kojic, located at 1120 Bishop Lindsay Avenue in North Little Rock, Arkansas. No registration fees or membership fees, just the purchase of the Eating as an Act of Worship workbook. So sign up today. To register, visit our website at www.eatingasanactofworshipministries.org and tune in to our Saturday morning radio show at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time on Studio W Buzz.
Talking with Jackie Joyner Kersee, the world's greatest female athlete, and we are at the Jackie Joyner Center at Jackie Joyner Kersee Circle Drive in East St. Louis, Illinois. Jackie, beautiful center. You know, people from all over the world, I'm sure, have come in here. What do you want people to get when they come into your center?
Well, you know, first of all, it started with a labor of love with other people helping to bring my dream to reality and to build a center, to have it here in East St. Louis, you know, where we house as well as Head Start, and we do after school programming. Mm-hmm. We use sports as a hook, you know, to get the young people in the door. We also do work with our seniors, our healthy steppers, you know, have someone come in, they do exercise and dance. And so hopefully, you know, when people are driving on 64, and instead of passing the sign, they would just drop by, come in and see, you know, not only a great facility, but outstanding staff people, you know, people really working to try to, you know, continue to uplift and keep the dream alive.
You also have a STEM program within the center. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we're very fortunate, have gotten several different contributions where we can introduce them to our young people. And you know, you're talking about science, technology, and math, but you know, engineering. It's just for letters to our kids. We want to make sure that each and every one of our kids can read at grade level. We have a reading specialist. We also have tutorial help, along with we have our computer lab. We're very fortunate that Comcast Charter Spectrum is in this area. Help make a great contribution, as well as Wells Fargo help with our computer lab. So, but also getting our kids in the space of science and technology, and but then we have such a large grounds that I'm also working in the agriculture space. That's a part of STEM as well.
Right. And you told me that's really dear to your heart, and give the vision behind that.
Yeah, the vision behind it was that me and my team, we started just really planting corn and soybeans in North St. Louis, trying to see what would grow in an environment in the inner city and dealing with the different climates. We did soil testing to make sure if there was any contaminants. But then what most people were seeing, you're seeing stalks of corn, but you might see corn. I'm looking at it, I see opportunity. There's jobs in these spaces. And how can we be in the space of plant sciences, just being in that space, but then also the opportunities where you can encourage someone to be an entrepreneur. So if you learn how to grow your food, then you can always eat. And so it's just a lot. And then being able to bring just a little bit over here to the JJK Center with real big plans of doing some great things in that space.
Another thing I realized also, you are responsible, your center helps go pick children up to bring them to the center, and you also take them home?
Yes. We are very limited in our staff, but we do have an efficient staff that we do pick up. Transportation is a big issue, not only here, but across the country. If you go to any community center, you'll find their biggest problem is transportation. And then some people have a problem with, gangs, or they can't cross a certain line. But we're very fortunate that they do pick up, and they also drop them off. And we have a Metrolink stop, but still, like some people just want to stay in their own area. But our goal is to bring them all to the JJK Center. But as well as that's a goal, it can also be an hindrance. But I'm always looking to what's the solution to the hindrance? The hindrance is that we can serve many, but our staff, we have to continue to raise funds in order to bring the staff in, so we can have that ratio, adult to child ratio, that we are having impact. Our goal is to not only bring the kids through the door, but making sure that we've seen improvement in their grades and their behavior. They're going through I don't have my book here, Kind of Grace, that we developed a curriculum around that called Winning in Life. And there are 14, we call them 14 guiding principles. And for me, they're like 14 intuitions, that we try to instill in the young people. But the great thing about it is that you have the character development, the leadership development of it, but we also have the physical activity component that's added to it.
If you had to guess, about how many people do you think actually come in and out of your doors?
Oh my gosh, it could be thousands, but our ADA on average is roughly around 120 or 95 on a regular basis. Our goal is to hit 120, but we hit right at 150. But then it goes back to we don't have the staff. So one of our goals is to try to find us a good volunteer coordinator, because one of the things I do know, living in I just want to say living in our community, but just in general, as a person, you don't want someone to come in and out of your life. You want somebody that's going to be constant. And if that person is constant, that person can help you develop and grow, because I always know I can depend on you because you're going to be there. And that's what I want to see when we get volunteers. I appreciate the ones that do come, but they need to be constant in our young people, because they see you, they want to see you more than once or twice.
So if people are interested in even partnering with you, other companies and corporations, or if individuals are interested in volunteering, how can they make contact?
You know, they can make contact. They could, call the JJK Center. It's 618-274.
For kids.
Yes,
Right.
right.
For
You
kids,
know, spell it out. And also they could go on our website, jjkfoundation.org, and you could also reach us here or ask for our program director and facility director, Mike Greenfield.
Okay, Jackie, we could talk for days and days because we go so far back,
Yes.
and I just love talking with you. You are a gracious individual, and thank you for spending time with Smiles. And just like I asked all of my guests, while we have you on camera, will you come back to Smiles TV Talk Show?
I definitely would come back. We have more to talk about.
That's right. Thank you, Jackie. Give me a hug. God bless you. And don't go away, because we're going to come back with Arthur Flash Johnson. That's right. Stay tuned for more Smiles. You look better when you smile. Jackie Joyner Kersee gave us a wonderful interview, and Arthur Flash Johnson is coming up next. But guess what? We had to do a part 2, and we don't want to cut either of them off, so you stay tuned for more Smiles. There is a part 2. You look better when you smile. Keep smiling.